Yeah, I mean, obviously he's got tremendous arm talent. He can make all of the throws. Anytime we put him in position to go out there and have to execute the offense, he's done it. Anytime you've got a quarterback making a first start, there's obviously a little bit of nerves around that. We had the same conversation last year going into the opener with Riley. You never know until you know. But certainly every indication is that Riley's ready or Henry's ready for the situation, and we're excited for him to go out there and get it done.
Mike, let me ask you about your defensive line, excluding that final touchdown play. The defensive line really stuffed Notre Dame's running game, which is one of the better running games in the country. Can you talk about that position group?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we brought back a ton of depth, and that was something, again, that we talked about in preseason camp, that was what we felt like was a strength. We felt like our defensive line was a strength. I know there was some questions asked about depth, and I didn't know where any of that came from, is what I told you guys, and I think that's played out that way. We've got a lot of guys. We're able to rotate through a lot of bodies, and we've got 3 defensive tackles playing at a really high level, Jamion Aeneas, and Dwayne, and then we're bringing in Aaron Hall now, and he's getting a lot of reps too, and we feel really comfortable every time he's in the game. And so, it's a great starting point through the inside part of it, and then outside we've got a ton of depth. Wes Williams and R.J. Oldman at the end spot, VJ, Ryan Smith at the drop spot, and Anthony Nelson getting healthy again and getting him back into the rotation. And so we feel like we're 9 deep at the defensive line, and so I don't know that you can get better than that.
After the Notre Dame game, you said you needed to look at the film to see what happened on that 4th and 16. How much post-mortem have you done on that in the film room?
A ton. Anytime you get into that type of situation, you make the call that you think is the best call for the moment, and I would still hold to the call that we made, but when it doesn't work, you obviously rethink everything, and people ask me, oh, you'll get over it. I said, sure, just like the Bowling Green Toledo game in 2013 on 4th and 9, and you get over that stuff so quickly. But no, I think what happened was, when you go back and look at the technical side of it, I thought Sam did a really good job of getting out on the perimeter and pausing. He got out on the perimeter and paused and actually kind of pumped downfield, and that caused our second level to kind of open and retrace to try to find where he was looking. And I think he just was really decisive and put a foot in the ground and went and beat us to the sticks. I mean, it's really what happened. He just beat us to the sticks. I think we were probably a little bit hesitant, because I think we were still thinking he was going to throw it.
Sure.
And I think that split second of hesitancy is what ultimately got him across the line. And so, obviously, listen, we wish we could do it again. We wish we could do it better. Wish we call something different. You think about every way you possibly could when you're in that situation, because certainly it's tilted in your favor and you'd like to take advantage of it. But, like everything, you got to move on and you got to get ready for the next one.
Coach, how important was it for you to have the week off to, adjust, get over the loss, after a heartbreaking loss at that, but have your players mentally just kind of refocus, adjust, and get ready for NC State on Saturday night?
Yeah, I think kids are a lot more resilient sometimes than we give them credit for. If you think back to last year, we couldn't have gotten our hearts ripped out any more than the Carolina game, and the very next week we went on the road and went down and beat a Miami team down in Miami, and so to that extent, I do think like there's a resiliency that kids have and that we have that you kind of rely on. And I think when you put as much into this as we do, and most teams do, the ability to bounce back always is there, and we know our goals are still in front of us. We know all those opportunities are still there. What I think the bye week gave us was rest and health. I think that's, we talked about that a little bit last week, but it comes at such a good time after week 5, because it's really the midpoint of the season when you factor in the 4 weeks of training camp. And so it was the right time to just step away, recharge, replug, and come back ready for the final stretch.
Mike,